Hi, fourth graders! I hope you had a great spring break week and you enjoyed the sunshine outside. I know I sure did. Um, I hear that this week's going to be even more sunny and beautiful, so I'm excited about that. So I hope you'll spend some more time outside, and I hope that that's really true and I didn't just make that up. Last week and the week before, we talked and reviewed a lot about fractions and things that we learned in third grade, about what fractions are and what they mean, and what are fractions greater than 1, and how do you decompose fractions. This week we're going to move into adding and subtracting fractions. Earlier in this week, or prior to this lesson, you watched some Khan Academy videos where he talked about adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators, meaning that bottom number is the same. And it probably seemed pretty easy, right? You keep the denominator, you add or you subtract the numerators, and you're done. You may have felt like super crazy, confused when he started talking about simplifying fractions. Take that out of your mind. You actually don't need to know that right now. So I'm not even going to cover it. So if you're stressing about the simplifying fractions part that was in that first video, let it go. You don't have to know that yet. I'm going to do a quick review of what he did in those videos, and then I'm going to spend the majority of the time talking to you about adding and subtracting mixed numbers and improper fractions greater than 1, especially when you have to regroup from the whole number, which is really the hardest part. But I know you guys can handle it. So let's dive in. I'm going to move my face off the screen. While I do that, I want you to go ahead and pause and make sure you have a pencil and paper to take notes. I know a lot of you like to take your notes in a Google Doc, but there are going to be some pictures you need to draw. So I would recommend paper and pencil. So pause and go get that. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want this. Okay, so we're going to be adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers. So let's get to it. So as a quick review from what you learned from the Khan Academy videos, you keep the denominators the same if they're already the same. You don't have to worry about unlike denominators until you get to 5th grade next year. So don't stress about it right now. Right now, the denominators will be the same, 3 and 3. That means you keep it. It stays the same. And you just perform the operation with the numerators. 1 plus 1 is 2. So our answer here is 2/3. Super simple. Keep the bottom, work the top. Move on. So let's do it again. I'm going to keep the bottom, work the top. 5 plus 1 is 6. My answer is 6/7. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Same thing. I have the same denominator, so keep the bottom, work the top. 3 plus 3 is 6. Now, this is the kind of fraction that you would have to simplify. You don't have to worry about that right now. So if your parent has talked to you about simplifying because you got super stressed in the first video, then that's great. You can simplify, but nobody is expecting you to do that. Okay, so let's look at why 1/3 plus 1/3 equals 2/3. Super basic, right? If I have a whole candy bar that is broken into 3 equal parts, this is a third, this is a third, this is a third. Because altogether I have a whole of 3/3. If I get super duper hungry and I eat that part of the candy bar, I ate 1/3. If I eat another part of the candy bar, I've now eaten 2 of the 1/3. And that's a total of 2/3. Because 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3. Piece of cake. You can also look at this in terms of circles. So let's imagine it's cake. You know I love me some cake. So I have a cake. Let's say it's broken into eighths. And we're going to model me eating, let's say, 2/8 plus 3/8. Let's pretend that I didn't eat that much cake, because that's probably not a healthy choice. Let's say that Mr. Shock ate 2/8. 2/8. And Carson and I shared 3/8. Now we have eaten an entire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8 pieces of the original cake. So same thing though, right? We kept the denominator, we worked the numerator. Piece of cake. Now, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Now, I can also add if I have more than 1. Let's say I'm going to add 1 and 1/4 plus 3/4. Okay? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my candy bars or my fraction strips and I'm going to break them into fourths. Ew, that one's not good. Do better. That's a little better. Okay, so first I have 1 and 1/4. So this is 1 whole and 1/4. So that represents my 1 and my 1/4. And now I have to add on another 3/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So 1 and 1/4 plus 3/4, well, that's an easy one. That's a complete 2 because I have this whole candy bar and this whole candy bar. Another way to look at that is if I have 1 and 1/4 plus 3/4, if I add my fractions, I end up with 1 and 4/4. We know that 4/4 is a whole. So that's kind of like says 1 plus 4/4, which we know equals 2. Same thing. Pretty cool. I can do this again with my pizzas or my cakes or whatever it is that are circular. You would think I'm pretty hungry, but I just finished dinner. Let's say I'm going to add 1 and let's do eighths. 2/8 plus 6/8. No, I don't like that. 8/8. I don't like that either. Jeez. 9/8. Let's call it 9/8. That's better. Okay. So if I start, I got to break everything into eighths. And these are quick sketches. Okay, so I'm going to start with 1 and 2/8. Okay, this is 1 and 2/8. Okay, now I've got to add on 9/8. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8, 9/8. So I end up with 1 plus 1 plus 3/8. Do you see that? This is one whole pizza, and then 3 slices of a pizza. So altogether that would be 2 and 3/8. Let's look at that mathematically. If I add 1 and 2/8 plus 9/8, well, I've got a whole number plus no whole number, so that's just 1. If I add 2 and 9, I get 11. Oopsie. You can tell it's getting late. 11/8. Remember, because I keep the denominator, work the numerator. Okay, I can't keep it like this though, because that's an improper fraction. That's not allowed. So now I have to break that up. This is the hard part. But I know you can do it. I know you know 8/8 is another whole. So if I decompose this into 8/8 and 3/8, because 8 and 3 makes 11, I can add this to the 1, because that's 1 and another 1. So I have 2 and 3/8. That feels a little tricky. If I have, let's say, 1 and 14/15. Nope, 13ths. That's 1 plus 14/13. If I break this up and take out a whole, we know a whole means the numerator and the denominator are the same. So that would be 13 and what makes 14? 13 and 1 makes 14. So I can combine this whole with that one. So it's like now I have 1 plus 13 thirteenths plus 1 13th. This is 2, isn't it? Because that's a whole. So 2 and 1 13th is the final answer. So let's add some fractions. Keep the denominator, work the numerator. 5 plus 5, nope, keep the denominator, Mrs. Shock. 3 plus 4 is 7. I'm not going to keep it like that. I'm going to decompose it. 5/5 is the whole. So I'm taking out a whole. What will I have left? I'll have 2/7. So I can call this 1 now. So my answer is 1 and 2/7. Let's look at another one. Keep the denominator, work the numerator. Now, numerator's greater, so I've got to decompose it. Okay, I'm taking out a whole, 8/8, because 8/8 is one whole, because the numerator and the denominator are the same. Okay, 8/8. What do I have left? If I take out 8, I'll have 5 left, because 8 and 5 are 13. So this is 1 and 5/8 is the final answer. So now the same's true with subtraction. Keep the denominator, work the numerator. Keep the denominator, work the numerator. 7 minus 3 is 4. Keep the denominator, work the numerator. 5 minus 4 is 1. You do this one. Pause and do it. Okay, keep the denominator, work the numerator. Piece of cake. We can do that with our fraction bars still. So let's say I have 3/4 and I'm taking away 1/4. I would represent that by breaking this into fourths, shading in 3/4, and then eliminating one of the fourths. And I'm left with 1/4, 2/4. My answer is 2/4. I'm going to jump ahead because I don't think you need to see that again. Okay. 2 1/3 minus 2/3. This is where it gets tricky, remember, because we might have to borrow. I can't subtract 2 from 1. Can't do it. So I'm going to take my 2 and I'm going to decompose it into 3/3 and 1, because 3/3 and 1 makes 2. And now I just combine it with that and turn this into a 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. Now I can subtract. 1 minus nothing is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay, let's look at another one. I can't subtract 1 minus 3. Not allowed. So I'm going to borrow. I'm going to turn this into 4/4 and 4, because this is 1 plus 4 makes 5. Combine these to be a 5. 4 minus 3 is 1. 5 minus 3 is 2. So anytime you end up with your second fraction, the numerator is greater than the other numerator, you're going to have to borrow or regroup. Okay? So you're borrowing from the whole number. You can't just regroup like that, like we did with base 10 or place value. You've got to break this into fractions. So this is going to be 5/5, because that's 1, and 2, because 1 plus 2 makes 3. Now what you're doing is you're combining this over here. So you're going to turn this into 7/5. 5 plus 2 makes 7. Now you can subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. 7 minus 4 is 3. And you keep that denominator. Okay, so here are the step-by-steps. I would recommend that you write this down in your notes.